Today is project day, and we are diving headfirst into a biggie, but I could not be more excited to finally be tackling this one. Today we're going to be attempting the shower room. Can't necessarily call it a bathroom because here in North America, the bathroom refers to the toilet room. But as you can see, we have this adorable little bathtub. Great big thank you to some fans down in the Okanagan, offered to rehome this beautiful Japanese tub to lot 32, and we're just honored to have her. Let's talk a little bit about layout. Well, I'm gonna need you to exercise your imagination for a moment because we just have some scrap wood showing the basic layout of this room. But the bathtub is in fact going here. We'll have one wall framed up here that is pretty much just the minimum required spacing behind the refrigerator. Then this will all be tile so that this can double as a shower. Mirror here, sink with hopefully a little bit of storage underneath, as well as storage under the stairs. This is not actually a wall right here. I'd really like to do the door on some kind of an angle like that so that when you come through the front door, it's not really sealing off this side of the room. I think that'll just flow a little bit nicer. The issue with me being a first-time home builder with this particular project is I have way more questions than answers currently. So we're just gonna start chipping away at it one step at a time. Building in such a small space, being that corner, this is really gonna come down to a game of inches. So we're building with 2x2s, which will be a first for me. And I am pretty surprised at only half the material of a 2x4. It's only $1 cheaper per piece. And finding something straight enough to even resemble a board basically is impossible. So we're just gonna do the best we can here. One thing that'll make this a little bit easier anyways is these 2x2s are actually an exact 1.5 inches. So we just need to subtract 3 inches from our overall height. Check this out. Got these from Rona. They were either short on 2x2s or they were just trying to maximize profits, but you can see these were 2x4s that they've just ripped in half. Either way, that's our supplies. Let's see about building the wall. Not entirely sure what the recommended fastener would be for something like this, but I'm just using a good old-fashioned screw, 2.5 inches long. Should do the trick. Just like that, we have a wall. In typical Dustin Porter fashion, we built the ladder right over top of these temporary work lights. And now, I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna do about that. Suppose we can undo the ladder on the bottom, but it's time to see if this wall fits in here. There we go. Perfect fit. Holy smokes. You'd almost think a guy measured that. A guy that's not me. People talk about really enjoying the process of framing because it goes so quickly. I totally get it. Look at that. Took us an entire day to get to town and get supplies. 20 minutes into this, we practically got a bathroom. Up next, we're gonna do this end wall that will hold the door in some way. When it comes to structural integrity, you think this would be the hardest part. Absolute piece of cake. I'm really enjoying it. I kind of figured these walls would just get better as time goes on. This one seems to be a little bit worse. And it seems to not really fit entirely. I can tell that the wall ended up the correct height. This floor joist is just slightly lower. I think it should be okay. Just gonna stick with it. I double checked that floor joist measurement, and sure enough, the one closer to the door is almost 2/8 of an inch further down than the other one. So I'm gonna take that into account with this, and we're gonna go just slightly smaller on one. Things are going pretty darn good so far, but I'll tell you, using these twisted up boards, it's a little bit challenging. Do you want to be in charge of the hammer? Yep.
Oh, that's heavy.
Might have to give you a different job. Well, I might be a little bit biased, but I have to say things are looking pretty darn good here. Next up is this short little wall. That's good. Would like to cordially invite you all to join me as I figure out how the heck these angles are gonna work. I thought I had it all figured out, but I'll tell you right now, I certainly don't. So we're just gonna do it basically one piece at a time. And I suppose we'll start with the first piece. Let's see if I have the skills for a skill saw. Just gonna go for my best here. Pretty darn good, I think, other than the fact that the blade cover catches on the end of the board. But it just might do the trick, you know? That's all we need. Just gotta do the trick. This angle should line up with this angle. Something like that. And then this should complete this span and match up with that angle, and it doesn't. You think that's pretty funny, huh? Oh, no, hold on.
Oh.
It does. Look, it lines up perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow. Could you imagine if I didn't catch that and I went and redid the whole thing? Holy smokes, it lines up perfect. I almost can't believe I'm the one that did that. That's just incredible.
You should trust yourself, baby.
Nope. For all the carpenters out there, you're certainly laughing at my excitement of this piece, but for all the DIYers, would you take a look at this absolute work of art here? Now we're gonna see how many people are laughing when this doesn't fit in the hole. Uh-oh. It seems to be just slightly off there on the end. So what can we do about that? I'm about to fix this problem and impress everybody. Now, push that end slightly so it's lined up with the stairs. There you go. Like that. Screw right into my finger. Look at that.
Did it.
We thought we frigged it, and we didn't even frig it. I'm proud of that piece. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm proud of that too.
You should be. You held that board so good, and I seen you trace that line. You traced it perfectly. Seem to have developed a slight bit of a cold here the last couple days. Not to worry, it hasn't progressed into a man cold, so I think things are gonna be okay. I've noticed a pretty big issue. This board right here, literally the first board we installed into the wall, has warped and twisted terribly. I've been thinking a lot about this. I think I'm gonna replace these with 2x4s just because this is the wall that's supporting the most amount of weight. So in the end, maybe a good thing, maybe a waste of time. Either way, it's gotta get done. If I'm really lucky, this whole wall's just gonna slide out of here. Look at that. Oh yeah, new wall goofing. And I feel way better now that this is 2x4 instead of 2x2. Just gonna slide right in there, just like that. A perfect fit. So this right here is cement board. Gonna be my first time working with this, but as you can see, and as the name implies, it's made out of cement. For that reason, it's a fair bit heavier than I expected. Let's see about cutting some of this stuff. I got this special blade specific for cutting cement board. Eager to see how good that works out. Well, I don't know if I necessarily enjoy that experience, but it cuts a heck of a nice line. Let's see if this baby fits. So we're gonna be building from the bottom up for 2 reasons. First of which, it's just easier that way. And if each piece goes on top of the next, it's just one less place that water can get in behind. And I'm pretty darn happy with that first piece. That fits really nicely. Wow, 5 more of those and we're basically done. Oh, God. Okay, we're gonna attempt our first big one. That is just incredible. The final piece of wall and the final piece of cement board. Hopefully we can just keep this success train going. I've had a perfect fit on every piece with the exception of the first one. Twice.
Look at that.
I know. If I keep this up, people are going to think I know what I'm doing. Gotta be careful with that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
On to our final step before mixing up some sealants, and that is this fiber tape. If you're doing a larger shower, you would do this on each joint in between the sheets of cement board. We really only have corners to deal with, and the purpose to this tape is so that we have one consistent bond all the way around the entire shower, not allowing any place to have a weak point for water or a crack. Right on the tile. We've been having some hot days here at the lot. Today's a little bit cooler, nice breeze coming through. It's gonna be a pretty good day to be working inside, doing a little bit of thin set. We only need a little bit. Oh, geez. Better too much than too little. That's what I always say. That's what I always say. Okay, are you ready? Oh, we need that thing on the drill. Okay, you're in charge of mixing. Let me get a little bit of water in there. All right, give her. Just slowly. A little bit quicker than that. A little bit quicker than that. There you go. Yep, just like a cake. You got it. Okay, now leave it. We're gonna let that sit for 5 minutes, then we're gonna mix it again. Well, certainly not the easiest place to film, but we're just gonna do the best that we can. And the purpose behind all these steps is quite basically just leak mitigation. So this thin set is gonna turn 5 panels into one cohesive piece that we can lay the tile onto.
Like a
Something like that, maybe?
decorating cake with a cream.
Yep, just like decorating cake. Up next is the part that I am probably the most nervous about because it involves drilling a large hole through the wall. And that is, of course, the installation of the vent fan. I've done some measuring and some mathematics, and there's a spot in between these studs that should line up perfectly between the ribs in the cladding on the outside. I'll tell you a neat thing about Destination Adventure. There's some of my teachers from school that actually watch this show. They're gonna be so pissed when they see that my mathematics don't add up and I drill right through a rib in the cladding. But I guess there's no way to do this without just friggin' doing it. So let's just friggin' do it. I have this 4" and 1/8 hole saw that I got for cutting the vent in for the wood stove. Should do the trick nicely. I bought a special extender that has what's supposed to be every size. None of them fit this mandrel, so I have a whole combination of things happening here. It should be fine. Okay, let's see where that hole came out outside. I can see the tin is sitting flush against the inside, so I think we got lucky. Wow, look at that. Right in the center. That's gonna be perfect because I'm not really a master at trimming around the ribbing for things sticking out. And this has to sit right against the wall. So that's gonna work pretty nicely, I think. Sure enough, I was off by 1/2 inch. Not really a big deal. Did a little bit of trimming on there, and things are looking pretty friggin' profesh. But I gotta be honest, if things were going any smoother, I'd probably feel like something was wrong. Didn't even lose a finger. Just like that. I learned at a pretty young age the importance of enjoying the little things in life, and this entire home build, it's a pretty big thing in my life, but a little step like this fan just makes me so happy. I was so stressed and nervous about doing this, I almost justified not doing it. And now we have a fully installed vent fan in the shower. Just needs a little bit of wiring. Well, I haven't learned a whole lot about wiring, but what I have learned is you just can't think about it too much. You just gotta start running some wires and hooking them up to things. In the spirit of making it look like this wiring was not an afterthought, we're gonna go through the ceiling / floor joist and conceal a switch in the wall over there. Labeled. One item that I am particularly excited about is the lights that we found in here. You can change the color. I'm just hoping that it's not going to be too bright, but I'm going to go with a nice warm. Wiring is officially a wrap. We have to make one trip to town for a junction box for the light switch, and then we can test it and forget it. But for the first time ever after wiring, I am 100% confident that that's going to work. And it's time for our final step. We have to totally waterproof the whole shower. And then this needs a whole day to cure. Just like that. Pretty easy so far, it seems. I mean, if we use that whole jug just on this shower, then it was a good purchase.
Oh, shit.
Oh yeah, good and thick. Going into this Lot 32 build, the original plan was to actually build a completely separate bath house, just because we couldn't find a way to fit a bathtub into this tiny little structure. Then the opportunity came up to fit an authentic Japanese soaker tub in here, and it was just a no-brainer, especially because now we only have to heat the one structure in the wintertime. But of all of the projects here at Lot 32, this is probably one of the more time-consuming, and for that reason, I'm going to break this into, I think, 2 parts, and we'll do the cost breakdown at the completion of the shower room. But I've got to tell you, I am feeling awfully excited and proud of the direction that this is going so far, and I am just honored to be able to share it with you. Most of all, thanks for watching, everybody.
Mama said